Hello, everyone. I am here filming a really quick instructional overview video for our upcoming assignment for next week, which is going to be a lesson plan synopsis and reflection draft that goes along with the lesson plan that you've been working on in class and that meets in-test standards 7 and 8 and portfolio pages 8 and 9. So I know that you can just read through these directions, but I'm someone who really likes kind of to be talked through assignments. And so I like to give that courtesy to my students in case you are someone who likes to sort of hear the instructor talk about the assignment as they go over the requirements. So I'm here on Canvas and I'm looking at week 4. So I'm going to go ahead and open up the assignment called Lesson Plan Synopsis and Reflection Draft. And I'm going to sort of just talk you through this. So, if you are someone who's turning in a portfolio, you know that there are two sections of the portfolio that require you to upload a strong, thorough lesson plan. Ideally, you're going to be uploading the draft that you've been working on in this class. And ideally, you'll take all the feedback from your peers and from me before you do so. The cool thing is, for both these sections, you can upload the same lesson plan. Okay. Now, here is the sort of additional thing that you need to know. When you upload the lesson plan, you also have to upload a synopsis and a reflection that accompanies it. Okay. So even if you aren't submitting a portfolio, looking at you, Lexi, it's still a really good skill to learn how to create a synopsis and a reflection for your lesson plan. So here are your directions, okay? This is due in class Monday, February 9th. So what I'm going to ask is kind of what you did this week. You brought your draft of your lesson plan to class. Next week, when we're in person, you're going to bring your draft of your synopsis and reflection work for in-test standards 7 and 8. You will also upload that on Canvas next Monday night after you get some feedback from your peers so that I can give you feedback as well. Now, like I said, this assignment meets in test standards 7 and 8. The synopsis portion is going to be the same for both these standards because your lesson plan is the same, okay? However, each standard has different components, and therefore your reflective component of this assignment should be different for the respective standard. So what I've done is I've created a draft template in Google Docs for you to help you with the process. It's almost like a template guide more than anything. You can just sort of make a copy for yourself and kind of work alongside it. And also within this assignment, I screenshotted the particular pages of your portfolio we're working on here, and I uploaded them here for you to see. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up this guide I've created for you all as you work towards this assignment for next week. Okay, you notice that it has 2 pages. The first page is going to guide you through in-test standard 7, which is portfolio page 8, and the second in-test standard 8, portfolio page 9. So remember that you're uploading the same lesson plan for both of these pages, but obviously the synopsis and reflection, particularly the reflection part, will be different. Okay. So what I want you to do first is I want you to think about your lesson plan, okay? And I want you to provide a paragraph-long synopsis of it. Think of this as an introduction and overview of the lesson, not all the nitty-gritty details. This should provide your lesson plan evaluator with the context they need to dive in and understand the lesson, but should be concise and succinct. So think a summary, an introduction, overview. I would say no longer than a paragraph for this. Then you're going to want to do a reflection on in-test standard 7. So what I have here is provide a paragraph or 2 tops because the standard is there's only kind of one component, right? It's pretty basic on how your lesson plan meets this. So here's the standard criteria. Process a plan instruction that supports every student in meeting rigorous learning goals by drawing upon knowledge of content areas, curriculum, cross-disciplinary skills, and pedagogy, as well as knowledge of learners and the community context. So in your little reflection section here, you're going to spend a paragraph or 2 talking about how your lesson plan meets this criteria. As best as you can, keep this reflection concise and succinct. Okay, so format and length, 12-point font, Times New Roman, double-spaced, 1 to 2 pages. So that is your synopsis and reflection for in-test standard 7. Then you're going to move on to working on your synopsis and reflection for in-test standard 8. Now, the cool thing is the synopsis can be the same because it's the same lesson plan. So literally copy and paste your lesson plan synopsis from above right here. The reflection on this one, however, is going to be a little bit more involved, and that's because InTest Standard 8 has just a lot more criteria components than InTest Standard 7. Okay, I've listed them here. I'm not going to read them verbatim for you, but variety of instructional strategies, formative and summative assessment, knowledge of how to use this assessment to give feedback to students, and of course, varied instructional strategies that include new technologies. Okay, so obviously, I think this reflection might be a little bit longer, maybe 2 to 3 paragraphs, but you still want to keep it as concise and succinct as possible. Okay, so here we go. Same format and length requirements here. This one, like I said, might end up being a little bit longer, but you want to keep these reflections, these synopsis and reflections, pretty tight, pretty straightforward. Okay. So that is the assignment for next week. You are working on the drafts of these synopses and reflections for each standard. If that is confusing to you or you're not sure how to start approaching this, please reach out. You can at least start working on, I think, the synopsis of this. I'm going to try to get you feedback on your lesson plan as quickly as I can. But really, I think you can start working towards this even before you get feedback from me, because you know your lesson plan best, right? You know how to summarize it. You know how to talk about how it meets these standards. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And I will post this video as soon as I can and send out an announcement so you all can watch it and can get started. Great class yesterday, everyone, and I'm excited to see you all in person next Monday, February 9th. Have a great week.